A few weeks back, I bought Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 because it was on sale, and I really enjoyed the first game, even though I didn't know what was going on because I have a Japanese copy. And I figured buying the second one would be a good way to figure out what the heck was actually going on in this game. But to get to the point, I bought it, downloaded it, and booted it up on my Portal because Tetris is a great fit for portable devices, as you all know. Lo and behold, it did not work. After some quick research, it turns out that this is a rare instance of a modern PlayStation game that does not work in any way, shape, or form with remote play on any device, from the Vita to phones to the Portal. And if you actually take a closer look at the PlayStation Network listing, it very unceremoniously lacks the typical supports remote play badge under the compatibility notices that are expected on any PS4 or PS5 game these days. So while they are technically transparent about the lack of capability, it's just kind of crazy that this is the case at all, because if you're like me, you've just expected any PlayStation game these days to support remote play. Luckily, I was able to contact PlayStation Support the following day when they opened, and I was somehow still in the green that they actually refunded me, which I was also incredibly surprised by because I'd already downloaded and opened the game file. So I was instead able to get Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 in English, which works great, and many folks argue it is the better game overall anyways. So that was a huge W and a couple of bucks saved. After that, I tried to find out more info about these sorts of games, but the PlayStation Store is very limited and there are a ton of possible filtering options that they just don't give you the option to filter by, especially since they updated the store and removed older games from the PS3 and Vita generations. I remember after that first update, they didn't even have filtering options at all for a few months on the web store. In particular, another filter I would really love to see on the PlayStation Network is local multiplayer games by the amount of players, for example, that games support. Basically, all those compatibility notice badges on the PlayStation Store listings could be potential useful filters to find games to get or to avoid, but Sony doesn't give us that capability. Through my research, I only found one other game that is currently listed that doesn't support remote play, and that is Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. And then in 2020, there was an interesting update for Tetris Effect that actually removed the remote play feature for almost a year from that game due to some contractual or licensing issues. And I'm talking about the original Tetris Effect before the Tetris Effect Connected rebranding came out. So basically, Tetris Effect had no remote play capabilities on the PS4 and maybe even Xbox from about July 16th, 2020 until much later when Tetris Effect version 1.20 came out. I found the patch notes where they specifically said remote play was re-enabled on the PS4, but I couldn't find anything other than this one user to confirm that this was also the case for Xbox. So it's kind of an interesting case, and at the time many players were pissed because Sony had said that in the past, albeit many years ago in 2013, that all games were mandated to support remote play for the Vita unless there were unique hardware implementations in the game, such as using the PS4 camera. But I guess enough time had passed that they've been kind of lenient on that policy. Anyways, I thought this was an interesting thing to bring up and something to keep an eye out for if you're specifically interested in a game to play on your Portal or through remote play primarily. If there are any other games out there that don't support remote play, they probably aren't as popular as some of the examples I've come up with in this video, and they probably just haven't come to the surface of online forums quite yet. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and let me know if you have found any other titles that don't support remote play on the PlayStation Store.